So, Mikel Arteta has hinted on the Joao Felix miss. Trossard update to Arsenal being linked to Arsenal, meaning there is a battle between Spurs and Arsenal. Then Albert Sambi Lokonga is one of the players that very many Arsenal fans have gone ahead and really attacked. Not in a bad way, but in a way that shows that he is not worth to play for their club and is not worth to really wear the shirt after his display against a team called Oxford yesterday. That if at all you cannot raise your levels to putting up a display that is really convincing against Oxford, when are you going to go ahead and really put yourself into that level? Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. By smashing it, hit the notification bell that will let you notified every time we upload a video onto this channel. Now, yesterday Arsenal played a very beautiful game, and though the first 45 minutes we are really nasty, not a joy to watch for everyone who knows about this, but obviously we are here to let you know that everything is going to go on as planned here onto this channel, and you're bringing the latest information as far as this is concerned. Now, as we told you in the last 1 hour, I think 2 or 3 last 1 hour, now we've been told by Fabrizio Romano, as far as Joao Felix is concerned, that Chelsea and Atletico Madrid are now exchanging and signing documents. Let me show you, before I really bring you what Arteta said about this, let me show you. Fabrizio Romano has just updated us about the Joao Felix story, that Chelsea and Atletico Madrid are now exchanging and signing documents for Joao Felix deal. No buy option included. Confirmed. Joao Felix in London today with family and agents to undergo medical tests, then sign the contract. That is what we are being told by Fabrizio Romano. Now, as that is happening, yesterday Arteta was asked after the game of football, because it was yesterday that we got a here we go that Joao Felix is going to join a club called Chelsea. Arsenal was left singly in the race when United really pulled out and went in for Weghorst because they couldn't meet the 11 million euro loan fee to Atletico Madrid. All of the three clubs were really okay with paying all the salaries of Joao Felix, but what really failed them to really get this deal on the line was the loan fee of 11 million euros. Now, desperate as Chelsea were, they went in and signed this player, and obviously Arsenal looked like lost a player that Mikel Arteta really wanted, yet he had even ordered the board that let's continue negotiating the deal of Luka Modric, but let's negotiate this deal of Joao Felix first, get him at Arsenal, then we'll go ahead and really bring in Joao Felix. And they are going to use that as a tool to really scare a team known as Shakhtar Donetsk, because Shakhtar will know that, all right, they've got in Joao Felix, can play everywhere Luka Modric plays. Maybe he's not a player that is going to be sold in the January transfer window, and you're going to miss out on money, because the fact is Shakhtar needs money. So they've come out on several occasions and said, we don't need money, because they no longer play in their country, because Ukraine is a war-ragged area, or a war-torn area, you know that very well. So he's not a kind of player. It's not a kind of team that is earning as he used to earn from the what? From their supporters. But let's wait and see where that's going to happen. But they need money, and if at all Arsenal went in for Joao Felix first, it would have been a signal to them that, all right, as we've gotten in this guy, we can go ahead and really get in more players that you guys are not really thinking of us getting. Now, we've been told by Tika is Conaham that after the game yesterday of Oxford, Mikel Arteta got asked the following questions. That when he was asked about the transfers, Arteta said, we will go game by game. Now we have a game against Spurs and we will prepare for that first. About Joao Felix, he said, my job is to make those players as good as I can, and we try to do that. Now, Mikel was really trying to beat about the bush as far as these questions were concerned and fronted to him, because the fact is he has really talked about him wanting other players. And trust me, I have a friend of mine who always says you can't polish a turd. You get, there are certain like you can't. Do you know charcoal? Do you know black charcoal? I think most of you know black charcoal. Even if you get black charcoal, you get, and you get a paper, all a very huge tank of water, and put in close to 1,000 sackets of Omo, you can't really bleach black charcoal. Even if you get jig is a master of bleaching. You can't turn charcoal white even if you wash it for 1,000 million years. Now, Mikel Arteta knows it in his head that even if there are certain players that are not going to exceed a certain limit, that's it. He knows it. And he has shown it in the transfer windows that Arsenal went in for Rafinha because they knew that he had a different level of playing as a right attacking midfielder that he could put Arsenal on because of his ceiling. You get the Arsenal players whose ceiling will never exceed a certain level. That's it. So Mikel Arteta telling us that my job is to make those players as good as I can try to do. When asked about Joao Felix, he was like trying to give his players credit and admit to us that the players he's having, some of the players he's having are not living up to the standards of where he wants to be. That's why he's trying to make them as good as he can. And he was like telling them, I admit we've missed out on Joao Felix because he's a better player than what we have. So you see, you need to go ahead and really read behind these fingers what the manager was saying. My job is to make those players as good as I can, and we try to do that. Meaning that he knows some players at Arsenal are not good as we think they're supposed to be. And when you hint about Joao Felix, he says that it's like a confirmation that Joao Felix is a good player, and you've asked him that you've missed out on Joao Felix. It is a big miss, but we want to go all out and really make these players better or reach the level of Joao Felix, which in actual sense is not true because you can't polish what we call a turd. That's it. And that is evident. Now, on transfers, they said we will go game by game. Now we have a game against Spurs and we'll prepare for that first. Now, I think he has been asked questions of transfers in every game, and every game has gone ahead and really said a different answer. When he was asked about Mukalo Modric going ahead to post Arsenal on his Instagram stories, he said players are really doing that because they are not yet back into action. Reason being, by the time it was only the Premier League that has been resumed. Remember, on the 26th of December, it was only the Premier League that has been resumed, and he went ahead to really commend the Premier League as one of the biggest leagues, and he meant that Mukalo Modric is posting that because he's watching football. He has no other game to concentrate on. Maybe by the time would have been playing for Shakhtar, but because Shakhtar is not playing, that's why he's taking some time to watch Arsenal play and post. You get? That's what he said. Then on when I think he was asked about Mukalo Modric again, then he said that they will go in for signings that really want to come to Arsenal, and secondary players pick where they want to go. So he said that now he has come in with an answer that is really hailing his players. And it looks like it might be, Arsenal fans, listen to me here. It might be a message being sent out that maybe Arsenal are really trying not to get in a signing that will really haunt very many. And I believe he went ahead to hint about another positivity that never really landed on, about them bringing in signings that with Jesus out injured, Arsenal will be really risking to rely on one player. That was another positive that I really saw him spin in that post-interview. So that means he can go all out and really give you lots of negatives and a positivity of Arsenal really winning or really getting in signings before the end of the January transfer window. So we might hurry our minds on this because I'm giving my opinions, but I believe it acts both on the negative and the positive. His replies on Joao Felix and Arsenal transfers are really acting both on the positive and the negative. You can as well think as you want. those have been my thoughts about it, because I believe it's something that we should go all out and look at before this comes to an end. And secondly, this is a double-edged sword. When you sign players, you find yourself successful. If you don't, you are redeemed to fail. Arsenal knows it better that in the January of 2021, they had a chance to bring in players. Even Kulusevski, that went at Spurs, was linked to Arsenal, but Arsenal were not interested in him. You get? Arsenal were interested, but they wanted Vlahovic first. By the time they never got Vlahovic, Kulusevski had agreed a deal to join Spurs, and very many other players that Arsenal could have gotten on loan to really save their season, but they didn't. So that resulted into that. So after that, we've been told by Alex Kruk coming in from TalkSport that led to believe Tottenham Hotspur interest in Trossard is genuine. No firm bids yet. It's under contract until 2024 after Brighton triggered a year's option as revealed on TalkSport last week. I'm told Arsenal also monitoring developments. No interest from Graham Potter and Chelsea at this stage. Guys, I believe if Arsenal goes out and pays for Trossard, it will be a very good signing. You get? Because Trossard is the unknown Joao Felix. Joao Felix came to fame at the age of 17 when he's playing for Benfica. Trossard is a player who is 28 years of age. He has hit his high this season, and that's why he doesn't even want to renew his contract. And that's why Brighton want to sell him when he still has 1.5 years on his contract, to see to it that they get some good amount of money from the player. In this season of 2020-2023, he has played 16 games, scored 7 goals with 2 assists. He's leveling with Arsenal's highest goal scorer this season. Martin Odegaard is having 7, I think, in the Premier League. Not so. Bukayo Saka is having 7. Martinelli is having 6. So it shows you how good and brilliant this guy is. Those Spurs are really in for this, but Arsenal might be really monitoring the situation to see to it that if we don't get in Mudryk, we can at least get some £40 million and get in Trossard. The beauty of getting in Trossard at Arsenal is Trossard is a Premier League proven player. Proven Premier League player who is going to come in and fit in the system of Arteta like a glove. He will play as a false 9, he will play off the left, he can play off the right, and he can play as a central attacking midfielder. Though his age doesn't fit the right profile of Arsenal, but if I told you to go all out and really sign in a player that you believe can get you out of this worry of not having Gabriel Jesus and having only Edin Nketiah, I think he's a better player to bring in. He's a better player to bring in to really help Arsenal. So it's good to see to it that Arsenal is monitoring this player, and we are just waiting to see the follow-up stories coming in from other teams. But looks like no bid of Spurs has been put yet, but Spurs is interested to sign Trossard because Richarlison got an injury, and they are lacking a player who plays as a cam. They are lacking a creative midfielder. Trossard can come into that team and really give that to a Spurs side. And I believe if at all he's played behind Harry Kane and Son Heung-min, he can really add more quality to the front two of Spurs. Now, Chelsea, no interest registered from Chelsea. I believe after them getting Joao Felix and Fofana, they have no reason of really bringing in Trossard because they also have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang there. You get? So, those are close to 3 strikers at Chelsea that are needed. No reason for bringing in Trossard, and maybe he doesn't want to go out and really weaken a side called a side called Brighton, because he believes Trossard is really a valuable player, but it looks like Brighton want to sell Trossard. That's it. Because when you sell him in January, he's left with 1.5 years on his contract. You are going to get some good amount of money from him, like 30 or 40 million pounds will be given to you. If you wait until the summer, you'll be vulnerable because the player will be left with 1 year and you won't get out the amount of money that you want. And we've known Brighton as a very high selling club, a very high price selling club. You know that very well. Now, for Sambi Albert Lokonga, he has went on Instagram and said, humble enough to recognize what I got, hungry enough to know what I can achieve. No more red. That is Albert Sambi Lokonga. Putting this onto Instagram is really something that has really gone ahead to haunt the player on how he was really ridiculed by Arsenal fans after that game of Oxford. I believe he never really had to put out a very best of a display of the game. But ask yourself, when did Sambi Lokonga last have minutes in his legs? All those players that you've seen at Arsenal, I think it's only Sambi Albert Lokonga that started yesterday that has not been getting minutes. El Nini has been coming in through to play some 10, 5, 15. You get? The same applies to Fabio Vieira. But Sambi Albert Lokonga has not been getting minutes. And I see it as a very, very, very bad, very bad way to expose a player like Albert Sambi Lokonga to such criticism. The player has not been playing games. It's like Donny van de Beek at Manchester United. A player who has not been playing football for 2 years, how do you expect him to come out and really get you the best of the results that you expect him to get? So I see this as one of the huge insults for the player. And if at all I'm Arsenal, I don't out this guy because he's talented. No one doubts his talent. But the problem is each and every time you don't play competitive football, you rust. You become rusty. That's it. So he has gone ahead to put out that. But your reactions to Arteta hints on Joao Felix transfer miss to Arsenal. Trossard, Arsenal monitoring Trossard, and what are your thoughts about Arsenal monitoring Trossard? And lastly, tell me your thoughts on a player known as Albert Sambi Lokonga and the Instagram post he has put out there after coming out and being trolled after that game of Oxford that Arsenal won 3-0 that saw them locking horns with Man City on 28th of January in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Thank you guys for watching in through. I sign out for now. See you later. Catch me onto the United Matters channel. We are going to be doing the United versus Charlton game at Old Trafford. Kobe Maino, a 17-year-old player of United, has gotten his first competitive debut under Eric Ten Hag. The new Paul Ebile Pogba is into the central attack midfield area of Manchester United. I sign out for now. See you later, my mates. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. Bye-bye.